So welcome everybody. This is the development activities meeting. Today is April 10th, 2023. And with us is Steve Rice, a resident in Schenley Farms, the Schenley Farms Historic District. Mr. Rice would like to be able to replace his front door. And this triggers a review by the Historic Review Commission because the Schenley Farms Historic District is governed by the covenant that is managed, if you will, by the Historic Review Commission. So development activities meetings are triggered whenever applicants request a review of projects that go before the Zoning Board of Adjustment, the Planning Commission, the Historic Review Commission, and or the Art Commission. It's a public review, if you will, of the application, and it's gives an opportunity for the community to be able to ask questions and to clarify any design details, if you will, of the proposal that the applicant can use when they go before the commission. So Oakland Planning and Development Corporation builds a better Oakland and helps neighbors thrive. Our programs include affordable rental housing, the Oakland Community Land Trust, community organizing, neighborhood advocacy, and planning and design review. OPDC is a registered community organization for Oakland, and we are the only registered community organization for Schenley Farms. This is a little bit strange in the given circumstance since we are all present on this. However, if you have any questions, I would, if you were not somebody whose face is visible to me at this time, I would encourage you to place your questions into the chat. We would read them into the record. And if anyone is calling in, press *9 to raise your hand. So this meeting is being recorded. However, if anyone does have any questions, I will make sure that they get asked. Jared, do we have the next slide? Steve, were you going to drive your own presentation?
Whatever you prefer. I can give you an overview, and if you want, I could share my screen at the end to show you some pictures, if that would be helpful.
That'd be fantastic. Jared, are you able to provide Steve with?
Yeah, I just made him a co-host, and if we have any issues, I have those couple pictures you sent as a backup as well.
Great.
Fantastic. Great. Okay, should I start?
Yes, please.
All right. Well, first, I want to thank you for your time today. I'm Steve Reese. I live in Schenley Farms with my wife, Evelyn. We purchased a house at 232 Lytton Ave about 2 years ago. And I'm here today because of our front door. So basically, I'll show you some pictures in a minute, but we have a brown wooden door that's behind a metal screen door. And we have a problem with it in that when the weather gets warm and then definitely when it's hot, the door expands. It starts around this time of year, but by summertime, it's very, very difficult to open the front door. So there's a functionality issue. So we propose to replace it with a door that looks very similar from the street. Basically the same brown wooden finish, except it's a fiberglass door, so we don't have the problem with the expansion such that we can't open the door. And again, from the street, it looks similar. And let me share my screen here. Hang on one second. Please let me know. Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so that's a house. That's what it looks like from the curb. Hang on one second. And you can see the door behind the screen door. And this is, if you would like to see in the context of the block, this is the house to my right, looking screen, obviously. Mm-hmm. And this is our current door. So we have the screen door that's brown, and behind it is a brown wooden door with a window. And here's a close-up of the screen door open, which obviously we don't keep the screen door open very often. And what we propose is so we can open the door and don't have the functionality problem that obviously the brown is on the outside, the white would be on the inside. It's really a wood grain door with a window as well, with a window that's very similar that we think that fits in the architecture of the building. So from the front of the house, it would look like wood. And those are the only pictures I have. Before I stop sharing, does anyone have a question about the pictures? Okay. So that's why I'm here.
I guess I would have the first question, which is, have you explored, or are there any reasons why you wouldn't be able to modify the existing door, to have it, for instance, rehung, or to have it slightly shaved off a little bit to make it slightly smaller so it fits in your frame better?
Yeah, so we actually tried that last year. This year, what we did is we took out some, I don't know what it's called, but like the molding around the inside of the door, so it makes it easier to open. The problem is in the wintertime, then we have a problem with locking the door, and it's very drafty, so we got to put it back in so we keep the door secure. But it's it's a problem, and we think that we need something that just doesn't expand and contract.
And do you have neighbors that have similar problems with their doors?
Oh, I didn't go asking. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just curious. Are there other houses in that section there that have similar doors to the one that you currently have?
I believe so, but I mean, I can't give you addresses. When we walk by, it looks that way, but it's hard to tell because everything looks like wood. Even the fiberglass doors look like wood. So it's really, it's very difficult to tell. Did
you explore other products that might be made, for instance, of a less expanding material that are not articulated with the little panels as the replacement door that you're proposing has? For instance, is there such a thing that mimics the plain planked front that your current door has?
Yeah, so we looked at 3 different companies, and everything seemed to have like kind of the same design. They say that they're made from different manufacturers, but the designs are all similar, both in the front, but also the window as well.
Okay, I think you can hear me.
Yes, now we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, and I'm on my iPad instead of my computer. I apologize. I was running late. I agree with you. Are there alternatives? I understand the problem because I live with a very old wood door that contracts in the winter and expands in the summer. But I also appreciate the historic significance of that. And are there alternatives, or have you explored alternatives?
So we explored alternatives as far as putting, I don't know what it's called. It's not like a molding, but something around the door to tighten it up in the wintertime, and then it's worse in the summertime. So we tried taking that off and on. We looked at different doors, and essentially, I don't know if there's a different material other than wood, but they all look about the same as far as the wood grain on the outside.
And does the expansion happen lengthwise as well as widthwise, or is it simply like, does it swing open okay? Just a question of getting it past the latch?
It's not the latch. We even had to take off the strike plate for a while, but it's expanding more this way as opposed to up and down.
So is that a factor of the storm door sealing in the moisture on your door? I don't have a storm door, so I don't know. But I also know that your door is probably very thick. Correct?
Yeah,
your wooden door is very thick. And I had trouble closing mine because there was part of the centerpiece would drop down in the winter. Or contracted, but I don't know. Have you noticed a difference since you have a storm door on it?
Yeah, so we moved in 2 years ago. There's always been a storm door. We did replace the storm door. We went through the committee and we bought one with a screen. You can pull it down and you have the screen. So when I talked to a painter who had painted the outside that we also got approved, he had recommended in hot weather we keep the screen down to circulate the air. So that's what we generally do. If you walk by the house in the warm weather, you'll see the glass down and the screen there to circulate it. It definitely makes a difference. It doesn't get very as hot between the screen door and the door. But that's the most we can do right now. So we can have it so that half of the door is essentially screen. Half the storm door is screen.
I'm anticipating that the Historic Review Commission is going to ask you about what your neighbors have done to solve similar problems. So it might be worth taking a little informal poll and seeing some examples of other door solutions that people have had, might have been installed over the years, but might give you a better sense of the scope of potential alternatives. Not that everybody's houses are the same. Obviously, there's a fair amount of variety, but they are all of more or less similar age, and you know, some similarities of certainly site, yeah, you know, the ecosystem in which your houses are placed is very similar. There you are.
Hey, we could do that.
Yeah, I'm here. I finally figured it out.
It's nice to see you.
Oh, I don't know about that, but okay. Yeah, I'm sure that will be a question at the Historic Review Commission. And I don't know, because I'm sorry again, I'm late, but did the Civic Association in Schenley Farms have any suggestions for you?
I just processed the application like I thought I was supposed to do. So that's all I've done.
Oh, yeah. That works, but they usually have suggestions for you through their association.
Can hook you up if you haven't made contact with them already. But
oh, I know that. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I let them know. I let Rob know that we were having this hearing.
Yeah, he was also on my distribution list. So, sorry, don't mean to tax you, Christian, because I know that you are here as an observer, but is there any category of question that you feel that we have not touched on that you would have expected that we would?
Good question. Let me think. I do think you've covered most of what the board will be considering. I think, yeah, I guess the one last thing is, you know, in addition to the functionality of the door, I'm sure the board will also be thinking about the kind of the architectural features of it. And so I guess just one question that they may bring up is how the proposed door reflects the character of the original door. So potentially that would be the only other question I could think of.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thanks.
You might have some opportunity to reuse the hardware.
Oh yeah, that would save me money too.
So there's that. Well, I don't have any other questions of my own. Kathy, do you have any?
I do not.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Reese, for sharing your time and your photographs with us, and best of luck. Do you have a hearing commission, do you have a hearing date before the Historic Review Commission?
I do not. Do I contact them?
Yes, I would proceed with your application, request a hearing date. I believe that you are limited to having a hearing date that is no sooner than 30 days from this date. So I'm not sure 100% why.
And they only meet once a month.
And they only meet once a month. So you might be looking at, it's possible that you're looking either at mid-May. I don't remember exactly when their hearings happen in the month, or else
their hearings are the first Wednesday of each month.
Gotcha. So you're looking at June, but please do submit your application there and let us know if there's any information they request of you up front that is something that we can provide as a result of this meeting.
That's great. Okay. Well, I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you very much. It was nice meeting you.
And thank you for following the procedures.
Yes.
It's so nice to be doing it in advance instead of, oh, it's already done.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that adage about whether it's better to ask for permission or forgiveness.
Exactly. And it's never good to ask for permission. It never works well. I mean,
Well,
forgiveness.
in this case,
I
what we're doing is
meant forgiveness. I had that
yes,
reversed.
yes.
It's always best to ask for permission.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Okay, thank you
all
very
very
much.
All right.
All right, have a good night.
Good night.
Good night. Take care.